No. We didn't even write a topic list, did we?
A topic list. Do we need one?
Usually we have for all the other ones.
Well, let's see. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about
Minecraft Adventure Time videos.
Minecraft Adventure Time videos.
There'll also be we're talking about VR.
I already said VR.
You did?
That was literally the first thing I said.
I did not hit. You didn't say that.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Ask Jackson. Isn't that right, Jackson?
What?
Just delete the episode. Delete this whole episode. Coming back to YouTube.
Jackson, can you hear any of us?
Yeah, why?
Dude, he's the most engaged person on this fucking podcast.
We've been talking to you. You haven't said anything.
Fucking shit show. You're an absolute Down syndrome. We can talk about Jackson's military service.
What?
The last one we recorded was before he left.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, welcome to the Castpod podcast. The fucking most epic, concise, consistent podcast on YouTube.
Of all of YouTube.
Who do we have here today?
We have
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie with us as a special guest.
We have PewDiePie. Hang on. Hey,
Hey,
PewDiePie.
guys. What's up?
Welcome.
It's PewDiePie.
No, you ruined my bit.
Yeah, well,
No, why are you doing a lame impersonation of our guest? He's like right here today. Felix. Just insert the fucking Swedish chef in there, because that's an original joke, right?
original joke, right? Yeah.
Yeah, original joke.
I was expecting you to try and we could do this in post, was to pause so there wasn't any sound, so we could put a sound clip of PewDiePie in. Because I'm sure someone's clipped a sound of him saying the N-word on the stream.
Oh yeah.
And just put that in.
Hang on. Let me see how hard it is to find. PewDiePie says the N-word. Clip.
Anyway, who are we? My name is Austin.
I found it. I already
Otherwise
found it.
known as Skeeter or Mozzie.
My name is Sergeant Major Johnson Erskine. No, it's not. My name's Jackson. Also known as Decidium if we're doing this gay shit where we say our gamer tags.
Or private parts.
Or private parts.
Man, that's a bunch of yeah, to see if you think that.
Alright,
Wow.
who are you?
Who am I?
Yes, who are you?
Don't worry about it.
No worries, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Also, for some
Please.
reason, your bitrate is really shit and you keep dropping out.
Fine.
Yeah.
You're fucking gay, you know that? You know... Fuck you.
Are you downloading something? Is someone downloading something in the background?
No.
Alright, I don't know what it is then.
As far as I'm aware... Hang on, let me check Steam. Steam, stop trying to download an update for Cuisine Royale. Get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
Shut down Steam.
Now that we're not
Yeah.
downloading 4K food textures, we can actually have a decent podcast.
Decent podcast.
Hey.
Hey, what? Hey, remember that episode where we said we were gonna start actually releasing these out regularly? Yeah, that was a good one. Eh?
Good one. Where's my megaphone?
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, I lost it. I can't see it from where I'm sitting, so I can't get to it.
Go find it. We'll keep the people entertained.
Alright. So usually what do? We usually we introduce ourselves and introduce what we've been listening to first.
Oh yeah. What media have we consumed lately?
I consumed. We'll go with you, Luca, and then Jackson and myself.
Fuck. I guess I can start with music. Travis Scott's album came out. That was very nice. 10 out of 10. Nah, more like a 7 out of 10. That was a weird album. That was a 88 Risings released their first fucking ever album. That was pretty crazy. Am I right, guys? None of us listen to the same music.
No, but that's good, I think.
YG released an album. That was pretty good. I'm surprised that guy actually released an album. For some reason, I thought he was in jail. Mac Miller released an album. That was good. That was actually really good. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did. I remember. Oh, Kanye West released an album. That's right. That's fuck me. We haven't recorded a podcast in a long time. Holy shit!
It's been quite a while.
What was that last podcast?
I'll pull it up.
Google this shit.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, the one I can give the most opinions on was Ye's new album. That was really good. Like a lot of people were mixed on about it, but I really liked it. Drake released. Fuck me, Drake was okay. It's very mediocre in my eyes. A lot of people dick-rided it hard, but I didn't like it. Denzel Curry released an album. It was kind of good, but kind of not. I think that's everything. Oh, Trippie Redd released an album. I haven't listened to that yet because I don't listen to Trippie Redd that much. Games, Rust and more Rust. We've been playing a lot of Rust lately, actually.
Well, lots and lots. Well,
too much Rust.
I haven't been. You guys definitely have. I've been kind of. I want to engage as much as you guys have been, but like if I do, then I'll fucking fail uni for a second time.
This wipe's been terrible overall, though. This wipe's been pretty disappointing.
But then again, we are playing on Rust Malaysia 1.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. We're playing on Facebook 1.
Oh yeah, Facebook 1, same thing.
The reason we're at a disadvantage is because we didn't have any BPs or blueprints. For those of you that don't know what Rust is,
because we all thought that it was a BP wipe.
VR, a little bit of VR. That was pretty good.
Oh, well, we'll leave that till last so we can actually talk about that as length.
That's. And then I also, and that's it. That's all I've been up to.
Oh yeah.
What about you guys?
Jackson, you go.
Well, I don't listen to music because music these days is trash. So
kill yourself.
So skip that section.
Oh yeah, just really quickly, Jackson. The last time we uploaded a podcast was 4 months ago, as of the time of recording this.
4 months ago. Yeah, dude, that would have been like.
It was before
like
you left.
120 days.
We lost subscribers.
Did we actually lose subscribers?
We had 7 at one point. Now we only have 5.
We had 7 subscribers.
Pretty sure we had 7 subscribers.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Yeah, back to what I was just saying. Oh, gee, 4 months ago. Oh.
Hey, that wasn't as big as the difference between the podcast before that and the podcast it's like last uploaded.
That was like 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Austin. Big difference.
Hey, months is a long time.
A lot can happen in a month. What's happened this month?
Not a lot.
Zombie boy died. That was a pretty good meme. Yeah.
Who's that?
He's the guy that was covered in tattoos.
Alright. Oh, anyway, you continue, Jackson. And what other media have you consumed?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Squad. Check out my stream. Yeah, boys.
I'll have to set that up properly for you sometime.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was a good stream. Good stream. No, I've been playing a lot of Squad because I don't know if you don't know, I recently just got out of the military, so did another of my military games. They've been fun.
Fucking loser.
Okay, yeah, says the guy who doesn't have a real job.
What kind of retard serves our
Doesn't have
country?
a real job. Doesn't have a real job. Yeah, here we go.
What kind of retard serves its own country? Holy fuck. What kind of fucking...
Hey, guys, remember, selling stuff isn't a job. Just remember that.
What kind of patriot fucking supports his own country?
That means Austin, that means your job's not a real job.
But I don't sell stuff.
It's not.
Yeah, you sell burgers.
No, I
No,
don't.
he doesn't. He cook,
I
he
make
cooks
them.
burgers. He's a chef.
He's a chef.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, we have more experience, more kind of job experience because I make burgers and Jackson makes people dead.
I've been working at restaurants as long as you. What do you mean?
No, I get a real job.
I had the good idea of leaving that into the shithole and gives you actual depression. The problem is...
Anyway, we
Anyway,
keep
we're
fucking
gonna-
interrupting
Side
Jackson.
tangent here. You're just gonna talk about how we play squad.
Yeah. So, Squad and Rust, pretty much they're the main games I've been playing.
You've gone full military RP.
Yeah, man. No, it's fun bullying people and telling them proper military call signs and shit like that. Yeah, it's fun.
Oh yeah.
What about you? What about you, Austin?
Me.
What have you been up to in these past 4 months? You been up to much?
The past 4 months. Well, what did I do? I saw It actually. I saw the new Stephen King It. That was pretty okay. I thought okay. Well, I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen the original, so I wouldn't know. I haven't read the books either. But yeah, that
Who
actually.
reads?
I am petrified of scary movies. I can hardly ever sit through a scary movie. So there's that. So I actually watched it all the way through.
Dude, it got 3 fucking nominations in the Teen Choice Awards.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But alright, well, so that was the movie. Apart from that, in the last 3 months, I also Humble Bundle came through on the last month, and I played had the time for a fair bit. Probably played like a quarter of the way through it, but
Is that any good?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think
I
it
see
has.
a lot of people talking about how they really like that.
It is
But to
very
me,
good.
Yeah, it looks not good.
What do you mean it looks not good?
It looks like it reminds me of like a B game. Like a you know how there's B movies?
Yeah.
Like the B movie.
B movies are basically
Yeah, it looks like a low budget game.
which it was.
Yeah.
And so was Star Wars #1.
What?
The original Star Wars is a B
yeah.
movie, yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of charm to it. It's something that was obviously made with a lot of love, and in fact, it was also made over Discord as well. So
It was made using Discord.
it's a Discord engine.
Discord engine.
But no, I like it for the fact that there's a lot more. It's not very cohesive with themes, which is kind of okay, considering that they did try and play that into the game itself. I thought that it would be a very shallow experience, but they do actually expand upon their quote-unquote lore, even though it doesn't really matter at all. I don't think Hat in Time's ever going to get a sequel. It's not really the point of it, really.
Yeah.
But it's in the style of basically, the reason it seems so bad is actually because it's in the style of a PS2 game, or a GameCube game, to be precise, actually. It's actually meant to be a homage to GameCube platformers.
Yeah,
And it looks like it as well.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's what. Not a B grade movie, a B grade game. Like it looks like a game that should have come out in that era.
Which kind of makes sense, and it does,
yeah.
and it pulls it off, and it pulls it off with enough to look like a real, like it's meant to. It wasn't meant to bring it into the new age, which I think is a good idea, really. But anyway, yeah. So I've been playing that, and apart from that, I've been just playing Rust as usual, the vacuous hole that it is.
Rust is fun, bro. Rust is so good.
I want to get back into TF2 again. I don't know much, but
yeah, I'd be down for TF2. I'd be down for Conan. I'd be down for any game, honestly.
Hello, it's me, future Stephen Hawking, who is also Australia. I'm coming at news from the future to say that you must skip to the time featured on screen to avoid the apocalypse. And half an hour of boring Rust discussion. Thank you and have an Australian bloody Christmas.
Hmm.
And
Like,
apart
To
from
be
that,
honest, I'm starting to find Rust a bit boring.
it's really
They
just
need
you get yourself into a
they need more
rut.
content.
Not more
Yeah, I
content.
find
It's not more
it's
content.
I find it's a bit too repetitive.
I don't think
Like,
that's it. And there's
you know,
nothing to repeat
No.
because there's no gameplay loops. Anyway,
well, no, but it's the same thing. It's you spawn in, gather resources, build your base, kill people.
I mean,
Like-
you don't have to do that though.
yeah, that's the whole point of the game.
But
But,
the- You
But
don't
it's-
have to do that, but that's like,
there's nothing else. There's nothing else that presents itself to the
Yeah,
player.
and I think
Yeah.
that's what I mean by they need more content. They need like
that's not.
because I hear the developers complain about like, and I obviously I'm not speaking for the entire Facebook team, but I've heard people that have on the team complain about like the way the community acts. But
yeah.
lately, the only thing they've been adding is stuff to kind of fuel that.
But they
Yeah,
can't
like
add any.
weapons
Well,
and
they
shit
have
like
actually.
that.
They've done something very good, which was add the Bandit Town, which was a refined version of.
Bandit Town, look, the concept is good, but
Actually, it works very well. Actually, we haven't.
I think
really-
hang on, what's the word I'm looking for? The concept and execution was good. It's the reaction from the community, I think, was not so great.
It's worked very well actually, and I think they have actually added more guards to it now that on staging, which works.
Since that incident.
But to be honest, I think if it was given another month, it might subside and it might actually be better than it is now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because it's a new concept. It's gonna last the entire month until it just fucking calms down and no one does it anymore. Whether people
Well,
can't inside it.
that's why I was kind of interested in Conan, because it sort of has a bit of a storyline,
Yeah.
but still has that sort of Rust aspect.
Mm.
So I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, so then, even if you don't want to do the, PvP base building shit, you kind of have like something else to do. It gives you like
Yeah.
purpose in the game.
It's more the fact that the thing about Rust is that they're in a rock between a rock and a hard place, and I think it's the
My dick.
and
No.
that's I think that's a very because the whole point of the game was built upon the fact that the PvP aspect was the main part of the game. It was
Yeah.
hard because there were other players. That's why Rust exists. That's why it became so popular, because people like the idea of emergent gameplay completely reliant on other players was the main draw of Rust.
Yeah, definitely.
It's because that it's emergent gameplay dependent on players that the game isn't really that much fun, because people keep railroading themselves into the same ruts as we have ourselves.
I think what would make it more interesting is definitely adding more quote unquote survival aspects. Which hopefully they'll do when they add the food stuff and shit.
Yeah, and
because
that's where it's going to go next, is that
Like-
food and water become scarce.
I would even say they should make things like sulfur, and I would even say guns more scarce.
The problem with that is it also means that people who do have guns have an a bigger advantage over people who
But
don't.
that would
Yeah.
that,
Oops,
hello.
it fucking booted me out because of how my sound works. Anyway, continue.
Think of like DayZ. Like people people with guns do have an advantage over people that don't have guns in the game, but it doesn't mean that it's like they're quote unquote OP, because people with guns still need food and water and resources to survive.
Yeah, so then it is basically just that.
And
but
then
there is-
also-
but PvP in DayZ is so much more
With a gun,
Killer KOS.
you're also a bigger target because other people are going to want that gun. Whereas, in a sense, I mean, in the perfect world, it would make sense that, like, maybe people that don't have guns will be more friendly towards each other, but as soon as they see a gun, they're like, I want that because that'll give me the one up against everyone else.
But you can't craft guns.
Everyone else-
You can't craft guns in DayZ, can you?
I don't know.
No, I
As
don't
far as
think
I'm
you need
aware,
to.
you can't.
Well, that's the main issue.
Mm.
If all guns probably were debuffed, maybe, then maybe it would be better. But that kind of defeats the purpose of having guns in the game. So it's a real odd one, Rust, and it's a
It
real
is a rock and a
enigma.
hard place.
Yeah. So
How do you improve a game that no matter what you throw into it, it makes the fire bigger?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard one. The only thing I really came up with would have been a decent idea is have a whole incentive build system where you have basically everyone has different stats they build up as they play the game.
Mm.
So basically, where fucking if you do one thing over and over again, it'd increase that stat a lot more. And then
Yeah.
if you do another thing over and over again, increase that stat over a lot more. But you can't really reset them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just depending on how you play the game, incentivizes how you play the game more in a way. You can get yourself into a rut, obviously, but maybe when it wipes, it takes those points out a bit. Maybe you lose
Yeah.
some of those points. So if you want to mix it up, play a different way in a different wipe, you can then change where all your stats are going.
Mm. So like every time it wipes, you can re-pick where your skills go. Or
Not
something.
really pick, but more the fact that it gets most of your skills will be minimized. So you'll lose a lot of the skill points you gained in that skill progression tree. So then
Yeah.
you can then maybe choose a different tree to go down. But it's more of a
Okay.
thing where you can't choose where your skills go. They just happen depending on what you do. So if you jump this many times, you gain 1 skill point in this tree.
And jumping.
But maybe
Does that
there's
does that mean
act-
you could
endurance or something.
Yeah,
just
endurance,
jump
yeah.
on top of buildings?
maybe
like how
your
you
fucking
need
massive
boost.
legs. You can raid with your fucking you
Yeah.
can raid with your fucking thighs. You can run up to people and fucking kick them.
You see this naked just running at your base, and he's like, "Oh, well, he's not gonna be able to jump up," and he just fucking jumps through the window and fucking smashes you with a rock.
Oh.
Ah!
But say you'd have maybe a melee counter or a gunplay counter or a crafting counter or all these other things. So maybe when they do add random rolls for guns, so you have maybe recoil is decreased depending on this gun or something like that, you have a chance of having better rolls the more you roll for those guns. A crafting thing or maybe... So I'd say there'd be better ways of doing it. So you have maybe expanded building, expanded crafting, and expanded farming. That way, there'll be a farming tree. The more you farm things, the better you get at it. The only issue is that currently there are already things you have to do a lot of. So you have to farm a lot. You have to farm a lot. You have to plant a lot. You have to pick up things a lot. So dependent on that, if it becomes less profitable not to specialize, if you just didn't try and do everything at once, that became too hard, then players would communicate more to try and find a player that can do one thing better. Therefore, pacifism would become a better gameplay aspect because then cooperation would become a very big incentive. So one person can be good at farming, or one person can be good at building, one person can be good at crafting, one person can be good at shooting. Therefore, you kind of want to band together. And at the beginning of the wipe, you say, instead of saying who's the knowledge pig, everyone has a role. Who's the main PvPer?
Who's the gunsmith?
Who's the gunsmith?
armor?
Yeah.
So then it makes like
Armorer.
a society sort of thing.
Yeah. And then if one person is a solo player, they can say, I want to have a modest base, but I want to be a god at melee. So they can just do random shit and stuff like that.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be a haggling aspect where you can haggle NPCs and that you can have a better skill at that. So basically just have the Oblivion skill engine in.
Yeah, basically take someone else's engine.
Just have the whole Oblivion skill aspect in, and then layer that on top, and then have debuffs and buffs depending on whatever skills people are at. That'd be fucking intense, and people would be so angry if they put that in. But I
think they just need to make stuff that makes people more upset.
Yeah, I think they kind of need to change the.
They need to make the game more frustrating, because at the moment, the game isn't frustrating.
It is
The
actually.
community, well,
for them, they find the community frustrating.
Community.
I find the community more frustrating than the game itself.
I guess that's true,
Me
because
personally.
when you play the game, I've always blamed the game for being boring, or blamed the game for being hard to play, but it's actually been the players of Rust itself which make it hard. I suppose it's true.
Yeah, that's what I mean in the sense.
But then
that, like,
again, it
is part of the game. Yes.
But also, then each country has a different version of Rust, depending on
Like
the country.
The Americans are a lot more
Civilized.
friendly. Like, and then when we jumped on their server and came along,
Oh, yeah,
Aussie
people
way.
People
People
kind
are scared of us, yeah.
Scared.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, watch out for those Aussie blokes. Eh?
These
We're
people
like,
KOS.
Come over here.
Yeah, well,
Where-
we KOS, and that was apparently a surprise.
And then
We're gonna raid you, cunt.
in our own server, it's very, very rare to find someone who doesn't KOS. Just as the fact in Korean servers, it's very rare to find someone who doesn't hack. That's just the reason they all play on our servers. And hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, are there Korean servers? I wouldn't know, actually. There might be, I suppose.
I don't know. I mean,
There's no official Korean servers, probably.
no, there's no official Korean servers. But I would assume
But
there's gotta
anyway,
be a Korean server.
let's
Maybe
get
there
into
isn't.
Let's get into the meat of the podcast. It's been 30 minutes, and we've talked about nothing but podcast and a few other things. Nothing about Rust and a few other things. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you know what's the one thing I really like about Rust? Is building. That's probably one of my favorite aspects.
It is pretty cool, actually. The whole building system is it's difficult. It's so difficult to do, so resource heavy. But
It reminds me, the only difference is that I find Rust and like maybe another survival game like let's say Minecraft is that like it is so resource heavy. Like maintaining a base is more difficult in
maintaining and
Rust.
building and reinforcing,
is more difficult than in Rust. Like I remember when fucking playing Minecraft, and like you could just build a fucking house out of fucking just shit. Just like literal shit. You could build a base and you'd be okay. Whereas in Rust, it's like you gotta fucking
Yeah,
you're like
you gotta-
hiding in a fucking crevice, holding like a bow covered in blood, and you're like 10 wood off building a base.
Yeah. I think, what's the other thing? I think, honestly, if they're going to make bases that difficult to acquire as a gameplay aspect, they need to be personalizable. They need to have some kind of charm and pride in them. So that way you can have, like, if the person who's built the base, or the people who have built the base, could be proud of their base and maybe decorate it with more things instead of just a few carpets and a bear rug, maybe a few chairs. Make it more convenient to maybe even be able to put, I guess you can put banners down, but make it easier maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
let's talk about the meat of the conversation.
Speaking of Minecraft, did
Hell
you
yeah.
Yes.
Did you see that Adventure Time episode?
Yes, I did.
Dude, I love Minecraft.
I just love Minecraft.
Fucking hell. There was a Minecraft. What was it the way you used? Bootleg?
I
It's a
said it's a
bootleg.
bootleg, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bootleg Minecraft episode that Adventure Time released.
Because it never specifies that it's talking
Holy
or playing about Minecraft.
Fuck.
Even though some of the aspects of the thing would also are alluding to gameplay aspects of Minecraft, it never specifies that it's talking about Minecraft. The diamonds are a different shape. The blocks look different. There's an Enderman, but I guess he's not really a figurehead of Minecraft. Alright.
You alright, bud?
Yeah, it keeps putting me in AFK because my audio is always displaying, so...
Wait, what?
So
Why
technically,
is it sending you to AFK?
because I've got a noise gate on my audio software, but not on my Discord itself. So I might just put I might just put automatic determined input sensitivity on, and then it'll work a little bit better. That means I'm always broadcasting audio on OBS,
Yeah.
which is why I didn't want to do it. I might just put a mixer on OBS. Anyway, continue about Minecraft.
Dude, Minecraft's just the best, isn't it?
I love Minecraft.
Even Adventure Time's great.
Adventure Time Minecraft. Oh yeah.
Can we start? I just wanted to acknowledge that it existed. Do you think now that this episode's come out that there's Rule 34 of Adventure Time Minecraft?
No.
I mean,
Check that real quick.
There's Rule 34
Oh, please don't.
of Minecraft in general, so...
Adventure Time Minecraft.
Minecraft?
Oh no, there's Rule 34 of Minecraft and there's 34 of Adventure Time, obviously. But is there a fusion?
Did they collab, bro?
Did they collab? Let's have a
Bro?
look. No, they have not.
Not
Oh,
yet.
thank God.
Thing's
Not
only
yet.
been out. The thing's only been out for 4 days, Luca. The high quality porn hasn't come out yet.
That's true. But where's the low quality porn?
That comes after the high quality porn.
That comes after. It doesn't take as much time. I gotta clear my history now. Fuck. I don't want my fucking family members to see that I fucking looked at Minecraft porn.
Yeah, they have a fucking VPN on so that they can tell what people have been looking at.
Yeah. Alright, there we go. I don't know. I haven't watched Adventure Time lately. From what I remember, have you gone back to the original Adventure Time episodes? By the way,
Yes, I certainly have.
it makes me feel like I have autism.
I have a very weak quick cringe threshold. So I cringe at the smallest shit. Some parts of Hat in Time I had to like feel like I had to pretend I wasn't playing the game.
Are you the guy that changes the channel when there's a romance scene on in a cartoon?
Not really, no, but
Not really.
it's other things.
Not really.
It's other things like
Sort of.
that's another thing I watched with my girlfriend last night. I watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
The original one?
The original one, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How was that?
It's pretty good actually. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
And like I was surprised because the quality control, there's a part where there's obviously a dancing peanut, but they don't dwell on it like new age shows do. They don't fucking like look at it for ages and ages until it becomes cringy. It like shows it. It's like, yeah, that's all right. Don't cringe in that because we're gonna go to this scene where SpongeBob's at a bar crying and eating ice cream.
Yeah.
It turns this fucking realistic because his face is all realistic and he's like looks drunk and everything. And the next scene where he has fucking like sleep coming out of his eyes. Do you remember that at all? Any of those scenes where he's like he's got like a hyper realistic face.
Yeah.
And it's like really gross. That movie was not for kids. It was for a growing up. It was for a growing up SpongeBob audience.
Yeah.
It was a family movie where the adults could understand things the kids didn't.
I'll have to go back to watch that again.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I watched the old OG SpongeBob.
Yeah.
movie.
But what were we talking about again? Oh, Adventure Time.
Minecraft porn.
And just the fucking original Adventure Time episodes, the first ones where he's still young and still going through puberty, if you know that I mean. And so he fucking screams all the time.
Isn't that just every Adventure Time episode?
Yeah, but when he
He's
screams
screaming.
in the new ones, he screams like a man. In these ones, he's screaming like a high-pitched 10-year-old scream. And, and they use the word algebraic and mathematical more, and it's more cringy in general.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least they made. I think they chose Finn in his age so that he could grow with the audience. But Jesus Christ, it's so
I think
hard
it's
to
kind of
watch.
good though that you go because it's almost realistic in a sense. Do you ever think back of like when you were a youth and you're like, man, I was fucking autistic retard.
Yeah,
No.
I remember ASDF movies.
Clapping to ASDF movies.
Yeah.
I
And
used to love the ASDF. That was
yeah, everyone used to, and then now we're like, holy shit, that's cringy as fuck. And even Tomska, the guy who made it, the guys who write it have changed their humor.
Fucking fat boy.
They've
Fat Boy Slim.
Fat Boy Slim. Even they have changed their humor as it's progressed. They've all changed their humor, and like watching that because we watched it before I watched that episode. I pretended it was like a new episode of a marathon or something, or it was like an old movie that got a recent reboot.
Yeah.
We printed that and we're going to watch the old ones first. And it was just, looking at back now, it's just a progression. By the third episode, they have dedicated musician for the episodes, which I forgot actually. And then they had
they have the My Little Pony guy.
Yeah, no, not Tombstone. They have Little Juice.
Oh.
They have both actually. Living Tombstone does one of the episodes, and Little Deuce does the rest. But holy shit, you can see the quality just increase, and they start using jingles as well in the episodes as well, and like more sound effects, and the hi-fi quality of the episodes gets better, and the animation of the most recent one is kind of alright actually.
Don't compliment Aston movies.
I know.
I miss Ed's World. That was the good animation.
The Rip Ed.
Rest in peace, Ed. Fucking died of cancer. What a fucking idiot.
Rip Ed.
He drank one too many Coca-Colas, you know what I'm saying?
That's not what he died of cancer, yeah, that's right. It's like, fucking, Coca-Cola causes, well, probably everything causes cancer, according to California.
Who the fuck goes to California? That's a place where tanned people go.
And get cancer.
People?
They go to California to get cancer and then blame it on everything else.
Yeah.
Get sun cancer.
It was global warming.
It's global
warming, guys.
That's why when we get a shipment of metal fucking containers, they have in the state of California, this is deemed could be cancerous. Like literally everything made in America has that warning on it.
Speaking of deaths, did you see that new Smash Bros trailer?
I haven't seen the Smash Bros trailer, but hasn't it got something to do with Luigi losing his soul or something? Luigi
dies.
Yeah.
Luigi, no joke, fucking dies in the trailer. Luigi is first in the Smash Bros universe. Luigi is technically dead.
Nice. Wait, do you reckon
Is he not going to be in the game? I don't know. They've added Simon to the game though. The guy from Castlevania.
Yeah, I think so. My sister was talking to me about it.
Yeah, Castlevania. They added Simon to it, which fucking surprised the shit out of me. I was like, holy fuck, Simon's gonna be in this fucking game? This is
Castlevania got a show. Castlevania got a show recently.
Yeah, it's got an anime on Netflix. It's actually pretty good.
There you go. Yeah, I've heard it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've only watched the first season, but I liked it. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
But yeah, I'll probably get it. I'll get it for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm honestly considering getting a Switch.
Yeah. It's not very expansive. There's not much on it, but I keep trying to think if I'm gonna buy games, I want to buy them for the Switch mostly. Yeah. Even they're gonna be a lot more expensive.
Oh shit! Luigi died.
But yeah, so I want to buy.
They have Richter in it as well.
Who?
He's another Castlevania character.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I want to buy. Hopefully, eventually, because they released the Crash Bandicoot reboot and everything. I'm hoping they release the Spyro reboot and everything as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, the remaster. Cool. It's not a reboot technically.
It makes it seem like there's going to be some form of campaign in Smash Bros.
Yeah, well, which you're hoping for, yeah.
I'm hoping for. If there is, I'll buy Switch then and there.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking. Oh yeah, we can fucking take games to each other and say, hey, you got this game? We can trade games.
Yeah, but Luigi's fucking dead, dude.
Rip Luigi. I have to buy I have to buy another controller for that console, but they cost $100 a pop. I think still cost $100 for a controller. It's holy fucking shit. That's expensive. All the games average probably $20, but that's because most of them are shitty third-party mobile games, and then the rest of them are fucking AAA releases.
Do you think Mario's officially dead as well?
Is he dead? Does he die in the trailer?
Yeah. No, in the other Smash Bros. One, they brought Ridley in, the dinosaur thing. What? They had Mario fucking impaled by that dinosaur.
I don't remember.
on screen. They have them on screen impaled by fucking Ridley, which is this like pterodactyl dinosaur from the Brawl. You know that dinosaur boss?
No, I have no idea. I imagine there's lore that's probably like, oh, they're actually in an alternate timeline or something, or like they can't die, something like that. They'd probably be something like that.
Well, no, yeah, they can't. Have you not seen have you played Brawl?
No, I haven't.
The campaign?
Never had it.
No, yeah, they're all toys. But this kid is this. So there's the story, and then there's the theoretical story. So the story is that this kid's playing with his toys.
Yeah.
And that's what because that's why when a person gets defeated in Brawl, they turn into the statues.
Oh, okay.
And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole like theory where it's like it's actually two guys. It's two kids. There's one that's like the normal kid, and then there's like the autistic kid. Because there's two there's two god bosses in the game.
Oh, that's what the hand is. I was always wondering why the fuck there was a fucking anime ass hand in the game.
Yeah.
That
But
makes sense.
the thing is, with the two new trailers for Smash, is that people don't turn into statues; they just fucking die. So it's kind of like, oh.
I think it still probably is.
Luigi.
Yeah,
Luigi's character is now a ghost.
He's fucking dead, dude.
Yeah, but why is his ghost still there? Maybe the campaign is to like somehow
save
bring-
Luigi.
Maybe
bring back
it's gone from toys, and if it is a campaign, then instead of playing a video game about Smash,
It's real life. It's real.
it's real. But no, maybe they're playing VR.
Speaking of
VR. So
what'd you get a couple weeks ago or a week ago or something?
for a cheeky $900 and for a month worth of shipping and handling and shit like that, you can get the HTC Vive for your high powered PC device, and it's worth every cent. It is. It's a long term investment. I'd say you'd probably have to upgrade many of the peripherals for the HTC Vive periodically. You'd also need to spend at least 1.2k, probably on your computer or desktop.
It's about a 2K investment.
About a 2k investment, but if you ever wanted to feel like you're in a virtual space that you could possibly get lost in and or have an existential crisis about, I'd definitely recommend it, the HTC Vive, and or any other method of virtual reality in an economy which hasn't standardized yet.
What about PlayStation 4 VR?
Absolutely no idea. Haven't used it.
Trash. The
can
cord
actually-
is too short.
You can actually use it on PC if you use an emulator.
Yeah.
I can't speak. I've drunk too much cinnamon whiskey. Help me.
The cord is too short.
It's an extension lead, retard.
Yeah, probably.
Gosh.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So VR is fucking awesome.
It
VR is quite good actually. It's surprisingly enough, because it is still a baby. It's still in its infancy, especially considering that HTC has some really strange production techniques, in which the fact is when they first arrive, they typically seem to be broken, and when you try and update them, they break again.
Epic.
I may as well go through my entire story of HTC Vive anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, cool story. One of the boys that I was in military training with, he just got a gun pulled on him.
oh shit.
Epic.
Yeah.
Did he die?
No, he's still alive. No.
No.
He sent me a Snapchat saying, I just got a gun pulled. So I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
And he's holding the gun.
He's holding the gun. I pulled it on myself, bro.
No, it's more the fact that someone put it on him, and it's like a show of victory. He has the gun on him now, and the guy in front of him's dead. Yeah.
The person is now dead.
But yeah.
Epic.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah,
the story?
tell us your story about your VR, bro.
So, I got myself a cheeky amount of money. I went to my local EB Games and none of them currently stocked in my area an HTC Vive. Surprisingly enough, since I'd EB Games. So JB Hi-Fi.
This video is no way sponsored by EB Games.
EB Games, yeah. Would you? Why would you?
Will you sponsor us?
The people who have only just discovered that Steam exists and they have to have the competitive prices, otherwise they don't get sales. That's why they always go on sale now. Is like every time Steam goes on sale, they have a hissy fit and go on sale.
I like how it's a hissy fit and not
fucking,
just like them competing.
Yeah, they fucking shit themselves. Like fuck. Damn it! They go on sale again. They go our profits.
There goes our profit margin.
Boys, we're back in the red again. Shit. Anyway,
can you imagine unironically going to EB Games to buy stuff?
I do it for the customer experience.
What customer experience?
Precisely.
Talking to the swole dude that works 4 jobs because EB Games isn't paying him enough.
Yeah. I mean, he probably pays for his video game addiction through that, but anyway. It's a vice. You only work at EB Games. It's like you fucking gambled all your life away, but like you have to work for the guy you gambled to. So you like
you have
gamble.
to pay off your debt.
Yeah, so you have to pay off your debt. You have to work at EB Games.
Oh my fucking god.
It's fucking like the guy, like the CEO of EB Games, the fucking you lied to me.
You're welcome to the family.
You were like a son to me. I can't do accents. I'm too drunk. Someone help.
You fucked my sister. You fucked my wife. You know what? Go fuck yourself.
You fucked my sister. You fucked my wife, and now you fuck me. So fuck you, Paul.
Yeah, I feel the alcohol kicking in as well. Fucking hell.
Holy shit. Anyway, so
you were like a son.
You were like a son to me.
And then you fucked me. And
then you went and bought Assassin's Creed Origins on the PS4. You fucking retard.
What accent was that?
I have no idea. It was like a hybrid between actual American and.
Here I am.
Hey, I'm One-Eye Bill. Like the one eyes on my penis.
I'm One-Eye Bill, and I approve of enslaving them black fellas.
There's whiskey in my nose. Fuck. Oh, ow, holy shit.
Hey, this is a pretty good podcast, Jackson.
Holy shit.
Anyway, what do you think of what was your favorite game on the VR system, Jackson? Gone was pretty fun. Yeah, Gone was my favorite. I sweated like a motherfucker playing that. I got a little drawn into that game. I felt like I was actually in the arena.
Can you just stop for a second? Austin, are you alright?
Nah, he's fine.
I've got fucking whiskey in my nostrils. It's like in my sinuses. It burns.
How do you do that? This isn't the first time you've done this as well.
Because look, like when you laugh and you like remember if you laugh and you like squirt out your nostrils. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it's a common knowledge thing. If you've never heard about that, then you're kind of gay. I was taking a sip, and you said some pretty racist shit there, dude. And it went into my nostrils, and now I have whiskey in my nostrils.
Dude, that's epic.
But anyway, I'm gonna finish my story about VR before it gets too delayed. Before it gets too delayed.
Wait, what?
Before it gets too delayed. Fuck you, Discord.
That's perfect timing.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, so I went to my local EB Games. Oh no, I didn't actually. Yeah. I went and checked. JB Hi-Fi was not selling their units anymore since they didn't get enough profit from them. No one else was selling them. All the EB Games in my region had just fully run out of them. So I had to outsource to the internet, of course. So to pay like $20 shipping as usual. And I got it in 3 days because it just shipped from Toowoomba, which is my local, which was the closest one, which had 3 units in it, of which there probably was like 200 throughout Australia. At the max point, there was like 15 at that point. And by the time I got it, I set it up, I replaced all the firmware on it, which corrupted all the firmware on every single device, so I had to then reinstall it manually. Then realised that one of my controllers did not work from the get-go. One of them, which I used all unofficial and official guides to try and fix, it didn't work. It was dead in the water. Either the battery was completely broken or the interiors of it were completely missing or something. I didn't want to open it because then it might void my warranty, so I decided to go send it back. EB Games at that point completely run out of headsets.
Like, hey, yeah, we're just replacing it.
Yeah. So on the day, I talked to them and said, can you get me a replacement? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll see. And then they said, oh, well, we haven't got any in the country currently, so we'll have to see if we can't get a replacement piece. They talked to head office. Head office is like, nah, you can't get replacement pieces because HTC doesn't supply them. You have to get an entirely new unit. Okay, that's fine then. All right. Have you got any in Australia? Apparently, Robina Central, which I'm really dropping names now. I shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, one of the other local stores apparently had one.
What if people find out where we live, Austin?
I know, right? It's gonna be terrible. But anyway, one of the
already mentioned Gold Coast a couple of times.
Yeah, no, but oh well. One of the local stores apparently had one, and we went there and we went to see it, despite the fact that I knew for a fact there weren't any in Australia at the time. So I went to the store and I talked to the guy, and the guy said, "Oh, sorry, I saw one on the display shelves for something that's currently worth over $900. Something on the display shelf which could not possibly be on the floor at the time, because it cost $900, was currently in stock apparently because he saw it on the shelf." And we got there and he was like, "Oh, sorry, we don't actually have any." So we went back to the main store we went to, and we're like, "Hey, the guy was lying." And the guy, which was a weird bit of trivia, the guy that served me at the local store had a plushie back at the other store I went to, which had his name underneath it. This is really weird. And then my girlfriend, who was taking me places because I can't drive because I'm a retard, was like, she noticed that I didn't, and she told me later that guy that served me in the store that was local to me actually had a plushie named after him in the other store.
What?
It was really, really quite weird. But anyway, he was a really, really, really great employee. So I imagine he's probably because he's a great employee, he has that up there. But
yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I got it figured out." And then we're like, "Oh, can't you just get a replacement controller?" Because we weren't sure if that was true or not. And it's like, wasn't there other ways you can go about it? It's like, no. What they had to do was they had to take back my unit, put it on a pre-order, reinstate it as a pre-order for the next order that they'll be getting in.
Yeah.
And then I'd be getting it in a month. And I got it in a month.
There you go.
And now it's here, and it's great. And I wish I didn't have to wait that long for it, but it's great anyway.
I think me and Jackson probably played it more than you now, haven't we?
Not necessarily. Oh, you played Gorn more than I have. That's only because I had a weird episode where the worst thing that could possibly have happened, strangely enough, because I couldn't get to sleep, I decided to drink some whiskey and go to bed. That's probably part of the issue that I had.
Have a nip of whiskey.
Yeah, had a bit of nip of whiskey. I couldn't get to sleep, so I had some whiskey and went to bed. I woke up the next morning having an existential crisis. Because what had happened was I had one of those dreams within a dreams within a dreams within dreams. But this is also mixed in with the fact that I was playing VR. So I was in a dream, which was a dream of a dream. A dream, and it was like, because I was also using VR. So at some point in the dream, I woke up, but then I used the VR system to move. And then it worked, and then it freaked me the fuck out. Because I was in my real world room, everything was plain and usual as ever, and then I used the VR system of movement to move, which is like you teleport in place, and I literally, I felt the schizophrenia coming up behind my eyes, and then I finally fucking woke up in a cold sweat, fucking killing myself. I was like, I'm gonna die. This is over.
I'm gonna die in VR. Somebody help!
But yeah, so I only started playing again today because I was having a weird time. I was like, I suddenly had a much better value in real life everything seemed to be a bit more real than usual. But yeah, so that's the only downside you can have. If you ever play video games as an escapism technique, then playing VR means you're trying to escape to a different reality. Therefore, you have an issue where things get very real very quickly.
or you just want to be able to do stuff with your hands in a video game, Austin. That might be it.
That's true, but it was pretty scary. Anyway, enough of the weird, depressive shit. We played. I bought 2 games after playing the game, all the free games I could find pretty extensively. Like not VR chat, but I played the Wizard's Tale, the Wizard one, and
That one was pretty fun.
what was the other one I played that was free? The Lab.
That one was scary.
Yeah, that was actually it was kind of scary. But yeah, the lab was pretty good. After playing that, I decided to buy some games. So I bought Gorn and Beat Saber. Gorn was the one that was played most of them out because we're manly men and we like killing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys can explain your experiences with that.
Dude. I mean, there was something came out of me, Jackson. Some deep animal instinct of survival.
I know why I'm so fucking tipsy. I've drinking a quarter of this bottle. Whoops.
I felt like I was fucking back in caveman time, bashing people with rocks and fucking sticks.
Hell yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't fucking break anything in your house, unlike
Some
what seems to
people.
be everyone else in the fucking house did.
Yeah. So Jackson, you got pretty into it.
Yes, I did.
What was your favourite part, Jackson?
Well, my favorite part, killing people. No, I don't know. It was just, it was cool just being, like, you say all this gay shit, that people play video games so they can be in like a different world sort of thing. But then you put the VR headset on and it's like, it enhances that like 100 times more. Like, you actually do feel like you're in the game. You're not just looking at a screen. Especially when you've got the headset on, not the headset, the headphones on and shit as well. Like, you get that full immersion.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I love my, ancient Rome history and shit like that. So playing Gorn, where you're in the fucking gladiator arena, you've got the weapons and shit and ripping heads off and shit like that. It was just like, oh, dream come true, baby. I could live here. And then, running a bar in VR chat was pretty intense as well,
Seeing all these
that was,
anime people
good life experience.
and Tony Stark came in as patron.
Oh yeah, Tony Stark, the security guard,
He's in his Hulkbuster.
Yeah,
Iron Man suit.
And then the drunk zombie guy, yeah.
The drunk zombie guy.
He just kept on stealing people's drinks.
He kept stealing people's drinks and going. Nah, but yeah, 100% VR is worth it. I want to buy one, and I'm considering buying one because I've checked my bank account. I've got a bit of money in there, so I was like, oh yeah, nice. And you've got like you got a PC. Oh, you got a PC made for you technically. Someone made a PC and put it on Gumtree, and you bought it for what was it, 700?
No, I bought it for 1,200.
Yeah, you bought the more expensive one, yeah. And yeah, that's good. That's from the get go. That's gonna run it.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty much all set. Just need to buy the VR headset, and also I think it's like you could, because like we've only played like 3 or 4 games sort of thing on there.
Yeah.
But like, I could see like this almost becoming like a family thing. Like, I honestly could see like my family playing it on Christmas Day sort of shit.
Yeah.
And like, everyone freaking out and having a good laugh.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. I definitely it would be a good investment.
It is, holy shit, it is like well engineered. There is so much stuff and there's so much just things and I don't know. There's so many like things like, oh, I wonder if I can do that, and yes, you can. It was like, oh, I wonder if I can mirror the display onto my TV. It's like, yes, you can. It's like really, really accessible and really, really like expansive in what you can do with the thing. It's like not only was this a thought process that went through some engineer's head and he designed it. Every engineer that worked on it thought of a new thing basically and then perfected it. It is like it is the most amazing. It's like an amazing piece of work. The only problem is that you can see pixels on the inside of things because they can't currently run an optimized version where they can have like 4K screens.
Yeah.
Which is,
But
I think. Yeah, continue.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, but once you're in the game, you don't even realize it because you're like so focused on
Yeah.
Gorn. You're like so focused on beating some guy's head in. You don't go, oh, there's little pixels everywhere on the screen. You don't really notice it. You're just like,
Yeah, I don't think I did notice any pixels.
Oh, that's because
like
you kind of
when
have
you first-
bad vision though.
yeah.
Wow.
Double those haters.
Fuck.
Objectively
No,
though, you do have glasses, so that kind of works into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like obviously, like when I did first put it on, I was like, okay, yeah, pixels. But then I was kind of like, you're focusing on, swinging the fucking bat or throwing the stick for that robotic dog or whatever it is in lab sort of thing, and you kind of just forget about it because you're so immersed in the world. You just completely forget about the pixels being there.
Yeah. Which I think is like if you're playing a game of poker, maybe you'd have time to see it more often. Like you're playing a VR poker game, you'd probably have like it'd be easier to see the fact that there is in fact pixels on the screen. So for instance, VR Minecraft, which I have, which
Sorry to flex.
sorry flex, but yeah, it would be pretty easy to see those pixels, which is good, I think, because if you made it easier to see, there'd be more people with schizophrenia. I think the idea that VR reality can become too real is a bad thing because then people are going to be spending more time in a video game than they are in real life. I guess it's true it happens already, but it's not the fact that they do have lives which support their hobbies. In this case, it could be possible that people will have a life completely dependent on what they do in real life. So that they prefer to live inside a video game than they do in their real life, which is not like it kind of exists already to a lesser extent, and it's more a socially acceptable extent where people are like, oh yeah, I love playing games with the boys, or I love doing this and such, or like, but I still have a career I need to work on.
Yeah.
And I have a girlfriend which I love and that kind of shit. But it's like it could get to the point where virtual reality gets to the point where it becomes too much.
Well, that's why eventually you won't need that other stuff, Austin. Future, you just need VR.
I guess it's true, but then objectively speaking, from where we are now,
you can cook burgers in VR. I'm looking that up. There's got to be a game where you cook burgers in VR.
Yeah, no, like I'm thinking, there are games where you can make money from them. You can make real world money from games. I'm trying to think of which ones they are, because there's a one where it was like people were losing too much time into these games because I think it might be in Second Life. Maybe I'm not sure because you can buy skins and shit in Second Life.
Second Life, yes. I mean, I know people sell houses in Second Life.
Because it got to the point there was an economy
a
which
reasonable amount of money.
People didn't actually need to leave their house apart from food. Like in a real world situation, they didn't actually have to leave their houses.
Story? Oh, there was that woman that sold houses in Second Life, and she made like 500,000 per house.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I know. People were buying them.
Yeah. So it's
she was like a house designer or some shit.
Yeah, it's that issue where you can actually have that in VR, where it would become a real epidemic, possibly. So I think there'd probably have to be some legislation put in about this, so that the governments would have to be able to stop people from being completely and utterly dependent on VR. Which,
That's why we need a.
when you think about before I got VR, I was like, oh, that's like ages away. But when I got VR and I put the headset on, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, even playing VR chat, and people were sort of running like the bar sort of thing. It's kind of like people are already like sort of taking this seriously. It's like, how much longer is it going to be until like fucking,
The first
it
VR
actually
death.
becomes like an actual thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, have we had a VR death yet?
I don't know. I know people have fallen asleep in it.
VR, really? VR death.
Hmm.
Man dies in VR accident, reports Russian news agency.
Oh, VR.
A Russian man died.
Yeah, but it's also like
That's good then.
he said VR accident, so it's like more likely like
Oh, a 44-year-old Moscow resident died after falling through a glass table while wearing virtual reality headset.
yeah, I thought that was it. Yeah, I thought that.
So he basically smashed his head through a table and fucking probably slit his throat or some shit.
He was like he was fighting bears in VR. He got so into it. He fought his room.
Ah!
That's actually
vodka.
one of the ads for Gorn is where this woman is playing Gorn and she completely destroys her house. But it's good fun. That Gorn was it's pretty good fun. So
It is very fun.
the casualties we've had so far is just a massive scratch in the TV, and there's also a very massive divot on the piano.
Sorry.
That one messed with the controller.
Yeah, one of the controllers now vibrates a little bit more than it should. But the TV was Jackson getting a bit too into it, and the piano was my sister who actually has the highest score on Endless so far. Getting into
what?
it in Endless mode in Gorn.
We're gonna
back.
change that.
Yeah, I changed it at some point.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, my sister has the highest score, and she was using only a rock.
I don't think I've played Endless yet, have I?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Uh,
But it's endless mode where she picks up the rock, but instead of going for another weapon, she just kept with the rock. She got so into it, she full on, like, with as much strength as she had in her body, smacked the remote onto the piano and put a massive scratch in it. Like, a scratch that...
scold her.
I said, I got angry at her because I kept telling her, because she was getting too close to things, I was like, oh, beware of the boundaries. Oh yeah, also the other functionality is there's boundaries in the VR headset which tell you where you are in the room.
Yeah.
And she kept ignoring
I think that's really useful, but there's almost, when I play it, I feel like I kind of want that boundary there at all times. I know that would be immersive breaking for some people.
You can put it at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd probably prefer that
if
to
it,
like,
or if it like flashes or something, because like you can like
you can make it more
if
obvious.
you move-
I just
if
have
you-
it on a
yeah,
kind of I have it
if
on the
you-
default setting.
yeah.
if you move too fast, sometimes it doesn't even pop up, and it's like, oh,
But sometimes you're just so like you're so into it that it's almost invisible to you.
Yeah, because you don't notice it. It's there all the time, so then you're like, oh, you can't block it out. But yeah, she got so into it, and I kept telling her that you gotta be aware of where it is. And it's like, I can't see it, and then she fucking smacks the fucking piano, and then I look into it, and it's like, the line is right here, and you could not see that. But I will.
yeah.
Have you seen the card system for Fallout 76?
No, I have
No,
not.
I have not.
There's a card system for Fallout 76.
Is there a
So the way it
is there a
works-
Fallout card game?
Not Fallout. There's a
It better not be.
Sky-
There will be
So-
soon if it sounds like it.
Perk cards.
Yeah. There's an Elder Scrolls card game.
Oh wait, can you trade cards, like trade perks?
I think theoretically, yes.
Whoa, that's kind of actually.
I
pretty
don't know if you can
inventive.
trade them, but there's perk card packs in the game.
Oh, do you have to buy them with real world money?
I only know, like, I only watched like a video on it. I didn't like.
You
but
play
the way-
Fallout, you're supposed to know this shit.
The way it works is that So let's say you have 5 points of perception. That means you can put on 5 perception cards.
Yeah.
So that you open packs and you get cards like fucking...
Oh, so it's just skill points, but
yeah,
it's
it,
cards.
it's perks for each skill. So if you had let's say you had like 7 endurance, you could one of those 7 endurance slots, quote unquote, you could make one of the perks.
Oh wait, what?
So think of Fallout 4's perk system, except each of the perks below the, perception, endurance, charisma, blah blah blah, you can only pick how many you've got.
Like what? So you have like 5 selections. You can only pick 5.
Let's say you have 5 endurance, you can only have 5 endurance perks active. Yeah, so you can swap them out and shit, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can have builds, which to me is...
Yeah, which
I think they must have contemplated that one a lot, because also when you're in Fallout 4 itself, it becomes very overpowered.
Yeah, exactly. It stops people from being overpowered.
It limits you. So even if you're maxed out, let's say you have 10 everything, you can still... hang on, how many is it? Hang on. SPEC...
Special, yeah.
IAL. So that means you'll be limited to 70 cards.
Yeah, like in Fallout 4.
You won't be able to go over that, theoretically speaking, if that is how it works.
So your deck size is dependent on your level, or you're on your level in each of those perks.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But you can have for endurance, there might be more perks than 10. There might be maybe 30 perks.
Yeah.
But you can only choose 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which could also be cool with the cards. If the pack system, let's say, if you're a low level player that's just joined the server, quote unquote, we still don't know how everything works yet.
So it could be also. Oh, that'd be better actually, because it'd be like the whole thing where I said with Rust, you'd be able to pick. You'd be able to change between server. You can hop server to server, but
they stole your idea, bro.
Yeah, you can hop server to server, but you can keep your stats.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
And I think the advantage as well is that if you're a newish player, there's still a good chance that you could get one really good card that could give you a one up against maybe.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to earn them either.
Boys.
Okay. Oh. You don't have to earn them. You just find them as card packs.
Yeah.
Ah.
Which I think could be really good to keep things balanced, no matter if you're a veteran player or a newbie. Because if you were new to a, let's say, server or world or whatever the fuck you want to call it,
yeah,
and there's a bunch of pro players. If you open, let's say, your first pack and get a really good card, let's say it buffs something or other. If you make a build around that card, then you'll be able on the same level as maybe the pro players.
But also, if you could craft cards.
No, that'd be gay. That'd be cool if if you had to buy cards from like shops. So that how like you buy Pokemon cards and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just like they come in like groups of 3. So it's 500 caps for a card pack or whatever.
Yeah.
So you go to a shop, you buy it, and you get and it just chooses 3 cards at random.
Yeah, I think it's 5 cards, but yeah.
Well, no, but
it's 4 cards. My mistake.
It gives you 3 cards or whatever fuck it does. And then so obviously, depending on what cards you get, determines on which build you're gonna have to do, which means you're gonna have to change your gameplay style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
which I think would be a good idea.
Also, what I was thinking of this was the way that Valve does it with their current economy, especially in TF2, is you can also craft the items. You don't actually necessarily have to buy them at all times. The reason for this is because you can also get the same card over and over and over again. Because if it isn't a 100% chance based thing, which it should never be, it's always got an actual preventative randomness algorithm in, or whatever the hell. But if it is, you have to be able to craft. If you have all these low level cards, you have to be able to craft them into a high level card if you have too many of them. Which means if you want a card but you don't have all the resources to craft it, you have to communicate with other players and get their cards if they don't want them, or say they already have.
Fallout 76 online.
Yeah, it's online.
It's online, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
That's the whole gimmick.
That's the whole game. That is the whole game. The
It's-
game
Oh,
Fallout
it's
76
Fallout
is a
4
multiplayer
Rust.
Fallout.
It's a Fallout 4
Yeah,
Rust.
it's Rust, but it's Fallout 4 Rust. Yeah,
So it's
alcohol.
I'm thinking it's going to be a bit like The Division.
Not really.
Kind of.
I feel like
I see where Jackson's coming from with the whole Division thing. Did you ever play Division?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so pretty much the Division was you made a team and you did missions together. So I'm assuming that's what they're trying to go for here. I'm assuming they're kind of like people can go on multiple missions. So, you know, freaking the black guy in Fallout, fucking, what was the
Preston
last one?
Garvey.
Preston Garvey, yeah. You know, how he goes, oh, settlement needs your help. You know, you go, okay, let's get blokes together. We'll go assist this settlement. And instead of it being freaking like 3 bandits, it's like 3 bandits in power armor or some shit like that with another 5 bandits. So it's like harder to get. But then obviously, you know, you finish that and you get perk deck cards or whatever sort of thing.
But also you have your all resources are enough to be out there. I imagine hopefully resources will be enough to. This is all like speculation at the moment. I think resources are enough to be able to conquer over. So you have different groups of players on this server because it's always online. So people are trying to get resources.
What I hope there is, also what I want in Rust, you know, in the last Fallout we had the 4 factions. Was there 4 factions or 3?
Yes, 4.
4. So you have sort of like Pokemon Go, whatever it is. Like you have, so when you start up the game, you choose a faction that you want to be a part of, and then obviously, you know, they organize attacks sort of thing. So, you know, go, oh, fucking, what, you know what I mean? Like it becomes more of like a team-based game sort of thing where it's like, oh, you know, the Institute is going to be attacking freaking Diamond City. So obviously an event gets organized where, you know, you get teams from Diamond City to fight the Institutes or blah, blah.
I can see that as a problem depending on how it works.
I was thinking.
What if events happened while everyone was like offline? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's an issue here because you can nuke other settlements if you can nuke rival
Yes, you
settlements.
can do that.
So I think the main reason that exists is because if one faction or one settlement of people of players that is gets too big and a bit too beefy and a bit too mean, other settlements can band together to get the nuke and then nuke them. I imagine that's how it works.
The question is, how hard is it to nuke something?
That's also in the ideal world. As with Rust, everything is based on the randomness of human encounters. Human encounters are hard to predict, if not impossible to predict. So, if they've only been playing with QA testers, the QA testers are aware of the way the game is meant to be played.
Yo, bro, I just realized what we can do. We can create the Legion in Fallout 76.
What if the Legion already
Fuck
exists
yes.
in
Yeah.
Fallout 76?
Make a better
I'm
one.
joining them.
It's
I'm joining
in
them.
wait, it's in West Virginia. Where is
Yeah.
West Virginia on the American map?
It's in West
It's
Virginia.
on the left side.
It's on the left side. There's a good chance that Legion will be in it.
The left north, isn't it?
Oh, you know,
Because
it'd be really good if it was pre Fallout New Vegas.
it is.
So it's Kaiser trying to build up the Legion.
It is previous to Fallout New Vegas. It's 100 years after the bombs fell.
Oh, is it? Okay, that.
At the moment, it is close. I think it's close to, or it is one of the earliest Fallout at the moment. So that could mean a lot of things. The problem with going that far back is they're kind of almost putting themselves in a corner. Because, oh no, Legion might not be in it, because if it's 100 years after the bombs fell, then Legion didn't even exist at that point.
Yeah, I think there's a whole, there's some legitimate theory, but it also means that because it's player run, nothing that happens during the game is meant to have repercussions into the future. basically, I think it's pretty much meant to be that there's no real factions, and I think I've heard that that's actually part of the game, is that there's not many factions in Fallout 76.
Well, theoretically speaking, then you could create your own quote unquote factions. Then
Yes,
well,
but it also means that because of that, it's always like it'll be that your factions will fall predictably in the future after Fallout 76. But anyway, it's meant to be the fact there are no repercussions, and also the fact that there's not really any real single player aspect. I mean, people say that it can be single player and there are like quests and everything, but they don't really have the big lore purpose as most Fallout games are. That is what people are very scared of. We'll have to, I'm not sure, not everyone knows, and it's not really hard to tell what it'll be in the future anyway. But it's going to be interesting. Fallout 76 will be interesting to say the very least. Anyway.
Yeah, I wonder. It's so it's just so out of the norm.
Yeah.
It's such an unnormy game.
And it's such an unexpected move as well.
And the exciting part, or the part I'm curious about, and there's a part of me that almost felt like getting a console for Fallout 76.
The Legion won't be in it. God damn it. Check the timeline.
As a beta as well, yeah.
No, not that. But seeing, because, the console has a more casual kind of player base, right?
Yeah.
Throwing the casual players into the mix of, Rust players.
Yeah.
And seeing how that almost plays out, I suppose.
I imagine there'd be a much more emphasis on cooperation. Anyway.
You don't think it's going to be every man for himself?
I think it will, but I think there will be a decent amount of work and cooperation as well. Anyway, we should probably wrap this up because I really got to go to the toilet and it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, I need to go to bed as well. So
yeah.
Alright. Dude, it's 11 o'clock. Fuck.
Yeah, man. Alright, so let's wrap this up.
Well, I've been Austin.
Well, hang on. We are going to start putting out content properly this time for realsy. For realsy.
We say that every single time.
No, but this time, I mean it.
I hope we can. I hope I'm inspired enough.
I enjoy these. These are fun as fuck.
They're fun. They're fun.
You know
they're
what?
Fun to make as well.
This time we didn't talk about Nazis a single time.
Oh, we didn't talk about Year Excalibur either.
Why would we talk about Year Excalibur?
We do that. We do that every single time as well. Anyway. I've been Austin.
I've been Luca.
I've been Jackson.
Fucking kill yourself, cunt.
I'm gonna. I swear to God, I'll wake up in a VR chat, sweat, and I'll fucking.
If you ever fall asleep in the house, I'm gonna put a fucking VR headset on you so you fucking die.
I'll wake up and have an existential crisis.
Yeah.
If we can get 1K likes, Austin will kill himself.
Can we get one like? If we get one like,
I'll literally die.
Yeah.
I'm like IRL gonna die. Not even in a video game. Alrighty.
But yeah, we'll put out more content.
We're going to toilet. This is the end of the podcast. Right. Bye.
Bye.